Hi, I had an idea, and it's a good one. And I hope it kicks off and everyone does it because it's going to be interesting to see the results. First, I had to do some research, and it's about how to run for Congress. And I looked at Ballotpedia, and they had some information on there. And there's actually a little map here of the United States. I'm from Massachusetts, so I clicked on it and that page doesn't exist. So okay, this gave me some information. So where do I go next? I go to YouTube. And where do I find in YouTube for how to run for Congress? Pretty much how to run a campaign. Dumb. So I guess my video might be the only video where it tells you what you need to do to run for Congress. So in this series, it's going to be about how you run for Congress, what you need to do, what the requirements are. But there's going to be a different take onto it, and I'll get to that later. So the best place to go is to actually go to the fec.gov page. And here it'll give you a lot of information that you're going to need. And that's where I'm going to have to look into it too. Because if I'm going to do this, and I'm planning to, or at least I think I'm planning to, because the way that they have it is really weird. So you have to be careful of when you want to start to run. What's also interesting is there's this page on fec.gov. It's called Quick Answers to Candidate Questions. And right here it shows, how do I register as a candidate for federal office? And one of the sentences, I think it's near the end, it says, campaigns should download the campaign guide for Congressional Congress and our candidate registration video for more information on the laws that apply to them. So I click on that, and it gets me to a video that is unavailable. I don't know if they're just updating information or making new videos, but it seems like it's pretty difficult for the average Joe to run, especially when from what I'm seeing is you have to at least raise $5,000 or over $5,000 in contributions or to make expenditures on in order to become a candidate. What does that exactly mean? I don't know. So I'm going to create a web series, and this is the intro. And what I'm going to call it is Operation BillDo. And it's in reference to Bill Clinton calling up Donald Trump and telling him to run for office. And that's what he did. And guess what? He actually became president. Yes. Okay. There's 3 simple rules. 1, run as an independent. No parties. No DNC. No RNC. No Libertarian Party. No Green Party. You have to run as an independent. That's the rule. The first rule. Number 2, raise $0 for your campaign except for accepting contributions or expenditures in order to become a candidate. Now, how are you gonna make anything tangible with your run? Well, here's the thing. Don't raise money for your campaign, raise money for independent media. Pick the people that you trust and donate to, or you watch. You don't have to donate to them, but people like Tim Black, H.A. Goodman, a couple others, Debbie Lusignan, same progressive. She doesn't want money, but she'll have campaigns where you donate to, like the Sterling Family Fund on GoFundMe. You could raise money to have people donate to Hard Bastard, Jamal Thomas, Holly Seeliger. I don't accept money. A lot of other people, Michael Salamone. There's a whole list. If you go on my Twitter page, you'll see a bunch of people that have some type of setup on a Patreon. So go ahead and go there. I'm sorry if I can't remember everyone. There's so many people that I watch now. So you do that because think about it. What do you really need campaign money for? You don't really need to go out there and travel around. You can go and try to do that. You're just not going to get many votes. The best way to reach people is through online, and that's going to be through independent media. You're not going to have $50,000 for every 2-minute video to show on CNN or MSNBC, and I doubt they're going to have run it for you. So, or they'll probably make it more expensive. They don't want you running against anyone and taking away votes from a Democrat or Republican. So this is the route you're going to go. As independent media gets bigger, they're going to give you more coverage. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to interview you during your congressional run. So that's the answer. That's how we're going to go about it. We're going to show people how to run a campaign with $0, because it's going to all come from independent media and basically the people. So you're not going to be beholden to corporations, PACs, big donors, because it's $0. And a great approach to this is in debates. When someone raises millions of dollars and you tell them, I'm supporting the people. I haven't raised any money, while you raised a lot of money from a lot of people. And what's going to happen? Most likely you're going to go in and you're going to just toe the establishment line, and people just wasted their money. But with me, they're not going to waste their money. If they want to support me, they're going to support the cause, the movements. And it's not about parties. It's about being independent. I think that's a good line. So it's speaking a lot of truth to power, and that's rule number 3. So if you're interviewed, you only answer the important questions right away. If they ask you about Russia, you go ahead and switch it to Russia's irrelevant. There's no evidence whatsoever. It's a mainstream media narrative, fake news, and I'd rather talk about the DNC lawsuit. And that's just speaking truth to power, because I don't think anyone in mainstream media is going to interview you, but if they do, you're going to just not talk like a politician, because politicians have a way of speaking that everyone who's anti-establishment hates. Just give a simple answer, and that goes to things like, if they're not important things, like what religion do you believe in, that shouldn't even matter. So you go in and answer that, compile those questions, write them down somewhere, and say, I'm going to answer that question later in order of importance to me at the end of the interview. And that's it. So once it gets to the end of the interview, whenever a reporter asks you a couple of questions, you go and reserve those to the end. And then you'll see if they are mainstream media or major news outlet, they're going to go and print the unimportant questions most likely, or put you into a little spotlight that you're kind of wacky, calling the whole Russian narrative fake news. So it's a way to just get information out there that there's independent media covering actual news stories that the mainstream media won't cover. Speak truth to power, whatever it is, just keep it real. So if they ask you yes or no questions, you answer them with a yes or a no. How many politicians do this? I would say almost none. Now, there will be some trickery involved, because they're going to probably ask you some questions where if you answer yes or no, it's going to be interpreted in a certain way. So you're going to have to address that. But, I mean, come on. There's some questions that are just seriously simple, yes or no. Do you support single payer? You could say yes or no. Say yes if you support it, right? Okay, so that's it. Operation BillDo. It's coming. Sorry. Maybe I should name it something different.